In the previous episode, we've talked about finding your purpose.
And once you know your skills, you will build that into a level that you are so good, people cannot ignore you.
In this episode, we'll be discussing about building an online business you love. Let's begin! Hello everyone! Welcome to the Beautiful Mind and Soul podcast, where stories of faith, courage, and success inspire you to dream big and take action. I am your host, Shimi Hapay, and our guest for this episode is the founder of Negosyo University, and he's a mentor to over 2,300 Filipino entrepreneurs through his program Internet Business Masterclass or IBMC. He has sold over 100 million pesos of products and services online, and his mission is to help entrepreneurs build a business they love and a lifestyle that their friends could only dream of. So without further ado, let us welcome Mr. Jon Orana.
Woo!
Woo!
Ang ganda, meron may clap-clap pang gano'n
Clap,
background.
clap,
O
clap.
yan.
Yes, coach. So,
Maraming salamat,
po.
Shimi, for having me. It is a pleasure to share my stories and insight about business building.
Yes, coach. We are so
Mm.
grateful that you gave us your time for this podcast. And I know maraming tao po ang nakakakilala sa inyo as the Jon Orana, the
Yeah.
successful online entrepreneur. Kasi nga marami na po kayong naturuan at natutulungan through your
That's
program.
right.
So, curious din po kami, coach, kung paano po
Ah.
kayo nagsimula, no? Because before, employee din po kayo. So,
Tama.
share a bit about your story po so that more of our listeners and viewers could also learn more from you.
For sure. So, gumraduate ako ng computer engineering. I graduated from Adamson University. I took it over 6 years na dapat 5 years lang. I took it more than 6.5 years. And back then, I don't know why. I just feel lazy or maybe, I don't know. I was young then, you know. And then, naging empleyado ako after just, maybe 8 months or 9 months after graduation. And I was hired as a web designer in a small internet service provider back then. And I was hired as a web designer. This was back in Ortigas. But after just working for a year, nakita ko na agad yung challenges kasi ng becoming an employee. Limited yung income, limited yung opportunities. There will be also time na nasa opisina ka, kahit na wala ka namang ginagawa, you just have to be there, And then, but back then, you don't really know what to do, until I stumbled upon a book ni Robert Kiyosaki, yung Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he talked about entrepreneurship. That was the first time na talagang narinig ko yung difference between entrepreneurship and becoming an entrepreneur versus, being an employee. So, but anyways, ganun yung nangyari sa akin for several years. Naging restless ako until I decided, you know what, I will start my own businesses. So, marami tayong mga pinasok na traditional businesses. Okay? Pero back then, yun nga, wala tayong mentor. So, parang lagi ka na lang, you just figure things out on your own. Hopefully, it will work. Hopefully, gumana. But then, because wala nga tayong background, wala akong parents na entrepreneur, wala akong friends na entrepreneur, it was a struggle. I lost money because of that. And so yun, ganon ang nangyari. I have no, yun nga, wala akong friends eh. Wala ka rin kasi masyadong mapagtanungan nun, Shimi, back then eh. Unlike before, there are different mentors that you can reach out and at least ask for some advice and tips, Back then, mga libro lang na locally ang napabasa ko sa National Bookstore. And then you listen to some mga radio show about business. And that's it. Until a friend of mine, after I lost some money sa mga past businesses ko, a friend of mine shared about online business. So since mayroon naman tayong background sa internet, so I got curious on making money over the internet. Remember, Shimi, this was like back in 2006. So this been what? Ilang years na ba? 13 years ago. So I'm not sure 13 years ago, Shimi, kung anong ginagawa mo 13 years ago. I don't know kung anong grade ka or whatnot, but that's what happened 13 years ago. Yun nga, and then until I learned about selling digital products and ebooks, because I've been hungry for information and mentor and becoming an entrepreneur. For the most part, it is a trial and error. That is why I really, now that I can afford mentor, even up to this day, I pay mentors to help me make the right decision and develop me and become a better and better entrepreneur. So yun nga, you're right. And now actually, right now, I've mentored over 3,000 entrepreneurs na. Right? Over 3,000 entrepreneurs tayo. We've sold over 100 million pesos online. Possibly, hopefully this year, we could hit 150 million. So that is the short story of what happened to me.
That's really inspiring, Coach,
Mm.
Kasi you see, you've been one of my inspirations too in starting an online business.
Mm-mm.
And of course, from being an employee to someone who loves doing her work right now. Because you
That's
see,
right.
this is your book. So we'll discuss this about later. And
Yeah.
now, meron po ba kayong advice that you can give to our kababayans, mga Filipinos who also want to start their business online?
Okay. Number one, this is really the best time para maging entrepreneur. Like our parents, our grandparents, they never had this tool and technology and ability to reach. That is something. Number one, appreciate what we have. Minsan kasi na hindi nila naiisip. They always see the negative side of things instead of the positive. Now you can reach millions. Like sa Negosyo University, we are reaching over 1 million a week people. And I'm still work from home. Like where I am right now, this has been my business. This has been my office for over 10 to 13 years. I may expand in the future, but for the last 13 years, dito ko po nabenta lahat ng naibenta ko. And that happened because of the internet. So you have to appreciate the technology. You have to wake up and see the technology in the internet na hindi lang siya for entertainment. There's more to it. And if you will be one of those people who will take advantage of it, then you will get richly rewarded. So anyone who would like to start an online business, particularly if you have a full-time job. So I'm going to talk to those employees who will be listening in here, or meron kang existing business, you maybe would like to add revenue streams sa business mo. The best ang online business in a sense na, okay, first I have to say I'm biased because ito yung industry ko. Okay? But the thing is, you can do this kasi this kind of business before you go to your work and after office. You can do this on a weekend. So you have such a flexibility, unlike many traditional businesses. So that's one. Number two, really to get started, you just need a website. That's all. And you can pay maybe 1,500 for 1 year of web hosting. I started my business for just $500 buying a domain name. And that's all. Right? Another thing is yung online business kasi, though I don't know kung how familiar your listeners will be, but this is still relatively new. Marami pa rin ang hindi nakakaalam nito. They just see an ad. They just see me, maybe heard about me or hear about you, Shimi, as you go and start to grow. But really, generally speaking, marami pang tao, especially the Filipinos, are not even aware. Even I, nandito ako sa Canada, and I talk to some Filipino friends. They don't know what online business is. They hear about it, they hear eBay, they hear Amazon, but the details in it, hindi nila alam. That is why those who will take action fast, they will get the most reward. Okay? It's not about consuming information, but really taking action. So that is why I encourage you, if you are sick and tired of your job, this is the time and this is the moment. Because unfortunately, Shimi, for most of us, particularly sabihin natin sa Filipino culture, family, Ang pangarap ng mga magulang natin makapagtapos tayo ng pag-aaral, right? And then mag-aral tayo or makapagtrabaho tayo sa malalaking korporasyon. That makes them happy. That makes them proud. Na may kwento sa kanilang mga kumare and kumpadre that, hey, look at my daughter, Shimi. She's very successful. She works for this large corporation. She just graduated from this reputable university. Right? Well, unfortunately, nagbabago na yun . You know, there are a lot of people who had a great grades and degree who works for large corporation, but they are sick and tired of what they do. They are stuck. That's the thing. Now, with online business, you can finally design a kind of business na yung tinatawag kong chillionario. Okay? Chillionario because you are happy with what you do, you enjoy what you do, you're excited waking up every morning, hindi yung parang lagi mong hinihila yung paa mo. And then at the same time, you get rewarded, richly rewarded for doing what you do. So, yun yung advice natin.
Wow, coach. Parang yung yung nabasa ko before sa book nyo, talagang naririnig ko siya live sa inyo ngayon. Kasi tama po yung sinabi nyo po . Before, I graduated as an engineer then, worked in a large corporation. Pero tama po kayo, darating yung time na you will feel stuck . So,
That's right.
talagang naging inspiration ko po. Dun sa mga nakikinig podcast listeners, hindi po nyo nakikita yung book na hawak ko, pero ito po ay The Cautious Entrepreneur by, of course, no other than Jon Orana. And this one book here really changed my life. And manipis lang po siya, pero napaka-meaty ng librong ito. So,
that's right.
Yeah. And from an employee, naging ito po, doing every day what I love outside of work and home-based na. And every day is very fulfilling for me. And doing podcasts like this really warms my heart and share information and inspire people. So thank you, Coach, for that very, very valuable insight, for the advice that you gave to our kababayans out there listening right now. And marami pong curious, Coach, kasi kasi na kayo successful, marami po kayong activities na ginagawa, speaking engagements, programs, ito po podcast, minsan nagto-talk po kayo dito. What is your day like po? Yung may routine po ba kayo? Baka may mga gustong ma-inspire dyan. Paano ba maging Jon Orana in a day? Ano bang ginagawa niya?
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about that. So sa akin, evolution na rin through the years. Again, I was a typical employee and I have no background about entrepreneurship. And one of the things that I realized early on, nandun tayo ngayon sa information age, Shimia. Wala na tayo sa industrial age nor agricultural age na ang mga nare-reward back then, yung may mga, mas malalakas na pangangatawan. Gano'n Kung agriculture stage, just imagine mo, magsasaka or mangingisda ka, hindi ka pwedeng weak. Okay? So the longer that you can work physically, the better, the more money that you will make, right? So basically, that's the reality. In the industrial age is the same thing. So industrial age, just imagine, isipin nyo na lang po ninyo yung pabrika, right? Yung malalaking pabrika. So sa pabrika, it's the same thing. You do the same thing over and over and over again, the same job. And if you want to make more money, you have to work longer. That's all it is. Wala naman talagang really creativity. And that's where the industrial age comes in. And that's where we were trained and should we say, we were taught nung estudyante tayo. Kasi if you think about it, ganun din naman sa pagiging estudyante, right? You have a teacher that tell you what to do, right? Kung ano yung rules and regulations, you just follow, right? Kung makakasunod ka, papasa ka. It's the same thing with becoming, sa industrial age, It's the same thing. You just have to follow the rules. So that is the thing. So nung ako po ay nagnegosyante, I'd realized that this is an information age and we are not getting paid with physical activities. Pag empleyado ka, let's just say, I don't know, your secretary or call center agent, right? Generally speaking, Shimi, you get paid with your physical presence. So pag sinabing opisina mo is 8 to 5 ka, 8 to 5 ka. Right? Whether may trabaho ka, tambak ka ng trabaho, or wala kang trabaho, you have to report 8 to 5, period. Okay? So that is really coming from the industrial age. Right? But then, now na nasa information age na tayo, we are not rewarded by this physical presence. We are getting rewarded by our creativity. So in other words, we just moved from physical to our mind. We get paid the way we think, the way we produce things. So in other words, ngayon, ang reward is not about the results, it's not about the hours of work. Gets mo? Right? Hindi porket nagtrabaho ka ng 8 hours, it doesn't mean that you were productive than say someone na nag-work lang ng 4 hours. Okay? So when I learned about that, I try to be as sharp as I can. Okay? I know this is like long introductory para dun sa schedule ko, pero at least para maintindihan ninyo. And so, now that I understand it is really our mind, then I have to be as sharp as possible whenever I'm in front of my computer. Right? So, ang typical morning ko are things yung first few minutes ko, first 30 minutes or an hour is really getting as sharp as possible. So, what I do, I wake up 5 in the morning. Okay? And then I will take a cold shower. So, sa umaga, lalo here in Canada, pag sinabi mong cold, yung talagang in 1 minute, manhid na yung kamay mo. Okay? So, by that time, talagang magigising ka. Imposibleng hindi ka magising. Okay? So, after that, I'm gonna have my coffee, and then I'm gonna have my personal devotion. I'm gonna have my quiet time. I write in my journal. And this is where, should I say, I ask for all the possible creativity. If I get stuck somewhere, dito nakasulat. If I'm frustrated for something, I just write down why am I frustrated. I write down all my goals, ambitions in life, things that I'm grateful for. Lahat yan nandun sa notebook ko. And I do that for about an hour. Okay, all throughout yung mga bilanggit ko kanina, from taking a shower, having a cup of coffee. I try to go fasting as well because one thing that I realize is food makes me lazy. It gives me yung tinatawag na brain fog. I'm not sure if you heard of that. Yung brain fog is like, you know what a fog is, right? Sa salamin, di ba? Pag foggy, medyo malabo, right? Di mo makita. Brain fog is the same thing. You're awake, gising ka, pero you cannot think as sharp, right? So that is why I went fasting then. I just have a coffee, no sugar, hindi yung mga 3-in-1, that's like black coffee, and then I add a little bit of creamer again with no sugar. So that's what I do for my first an hour. And then by the time na 7 o'clock, eto na yung papasok na yung trabaho ko as a father. Okay? Because that's one thing for me, number one is family, right? Yung buhay chillinaro, hindi ibig sabihin, kikita ka ng malaki tas wala ka namang oras sa family, right? So 7 yan until madrop, I'm gonna prepare breakfast for them, and kung kinakailangan paliguan sila, maliligo, and then help them change until I'm gonna drop them off sa school. So by around 8:45, so from 7 to 8:45, tapos na ako dun sa family side. Now I'm gonna go back to my work. So yan, hanggang until 8:45 until mga 12 noon yan. Tapos na ako dun sa trabaho ko. So really, that is my cycle right now. Ngayon, nadadagdagan na lang ng oras, maybe in the evening. That is because when I launched yung Negosyo University, most of my staff, which by the way, they all work from home, 100% of them work from home. So may ilang mga messages, sometimes you have meeting, talk about this and that. So yun na lang. So, but really my work, whether I record a video, yung mga napapanood ng mga baby ng tao sa akin, or I create a program or coaching program, normally within before lunch or by lunchtime, tapos na tayo. So that's my typical day, Monday to Friday.
Wow, that's great, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
So, yung mga sinabi nyo kanina talagang nagre-resonate. Marami po doon, nabasa ko rin sa books. Don't trade your time for money. Kasi nga ganun nga pag empleyado ka. So, more of creativity and results po tayo ngayon.
That's
And
right.
nakikita nyo nga sa mga listeners po natin, that's why I invited Coach John here sa Beautiful Mind and Soul because sabi nga niya, it's all in the mind. And sa mga hindi nakakaalam, si Coach John is also a Christian. So, andyan, it all starts from within din yung kabutihan mo and knowing ano yung priorities mo sa life. And sabi nga ni Coach Jan, yung priority niya so family niya. So sa mga
Tama.
gusto rin talagang magkaroon ng time, more time sa family, learn from Sir Jon Orana. He's the
That's right.
one of the best mentors you will ever have. Mentor ko rin po kasi siya. So, ito po coach next question tayo.
Sige.
Knock on wood. If ever you're gonna lose everything, just in case, no, back to zero kayo. No email list, no Negosyo University, no IBMC. Ang natitira na lang po ay yung skills nyo at yung mga nalalaman nyo, no? It's on mind. What will you do to get back on track? Ayun po, coach.
What will I do to, okay, sabihin na natin na wala lahat. I don't have like any connections at all. I'm gonna offer my consulting services, particularly in Facebook ads. So in the last 12 months or 18 months, we've spent about 15 million pesos on Facebook ads. And that is the skills that I developed again through the years. And that is a highly paid skills. This is one really high demand itong skills na to. A lot of small business owners are struggling on how to advertise profitably on Facebook. And I even have different groups na mga sabihin na natin mga high-end mastermind group. And even them, a lot of them are really struggling. I'm talking about international experts and gurus and out there. I'm part of some of them. Some of them I'm part of their group and they are like zero knowledge or very have limited knowledge. So that is the skills that I will offer. So kung mawala lahat, I'm gonna create a simple Facebook ads. I'm gonna target mga small business owners. Siguro pipili ako ng isang industry, maybe say mga dentist or maybe mga chiropractor, something na medyo malalaki yung mga kita nila. And then I'm gonna offer my services on advertising on Facebook. To make it close siguro, Shimi, to make it easier for me to close, I can offer them a money back guarantee. Or do not pay me for now. I'm gonna prove my worth first. Once you see the results, then we can start to talk about money. Because one of the things sa negosyo kasi is hindi ka lang dapat magbibenta, but you also have to create an offer that it is hard to resist for people. It's hard for people to say no, right? So if we offer something na, okay, money back guarantee or pay me later, right? I'm gonna do the work now, pay me later. Once you see the result, then that is much easier. A low commitment or zero commitment sa mga prospects mo and client mo. And because of that, it's much easier to close. Of course, if you will prove naman your worth, then eventually, pababayaran ka ng mga clients mo. I'm gonna start with that.
Thanks for that, Coach, no? So, sa mga nakikinig ngayon, wala po tayong rason para hindi makapagsimula.
Exactly.
Kasi nga, it's not necessary na marami ka ng email subscribers or may website ka na. Don't be so perfectionist, guys. Ano? Kasi kung si Coach Jan nga, mawala lahat ng meron siyang, yung resources niya, at meron lang siya yung skills niya, makakapagsimula pa rin siya. So, tignan nyo guys kung ano na yung meron kayo ngayon, yung passion nyo, skills nyo, or what you are willing to learn to serve your audience. Kasi nga, from there, you can help them, start from helping, start from the mindset na you come from the place of help. Wag muna sa pera, no? Kasi darating kayo dyan in the future. So, ayun po, napakagandang advice from Coach Jan. And Coach, since maraming mga successful businessman, entrepreneurs, mga tao, ang alam natin mahilig magbasa ng libro, no? So, definitely, baka may mga listeners tayo ngayon na talagang gustong matuto rin through books. Meron po ba kayong ma-recommend na at least 3 books for them to read first para at least ma-inspire din para pag nagsimula na sila sa buhay entrepreneur nila, meron na rin po silang magandang foundation?
Okay, so sabihin na lang natin not combination ng entrepreneurship in general and then say an online business, okay? So entrepreneurship in general, I would say still you can reach that for that. It's an easy read kasi siya, you know, it's not really a textbook style. You can read it on your vacant time. Kumbaga, it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing to enjoy. Walang masyadong major strategies na binigay doon. But I guess I really believe yung clear yung the way Robert Kiyosaki explained it kasi it's very, very powerful. He designed it in such a way na storytelling that you're really gonna enjoy it. That's number one, okay? That's number one. Number two, I would say, I will mention maybe four. Gawin na natin four. Not necessarily business book. Number two is yung Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. There are a lot of information. When I migrated in Canada, I have no money, I have no job, I have nothing. Ito yung mga isa na istumble ko. But instead of just physical book, I listen to an audiobook. Hanggang sa nagkatrabaho ko, I listen to it over and over and over again. During my commute time, wala pa akong kotse, I'm just take a train. So 45 minutes papunta sa office, pauwi. I just listen to it on this tiny MP3 player. Mga cellphone back then, wala pang mga audio player yan. Okay? Hindi pa siya tinatawag nating smart device. It's more of just really a cell phone. So that is the second one, which is, again, it will open up a lot of, makes you think, realize that there are a lot of things in our lives now we are holding it back because of the way we see the world, the way we see things. And if we change the way we think, right? And then it will also change the results of our lives. That is right. Hindi po pwedeng, you know, spiritual ka lang, hindi po pwede namang sa physical ka lang, right? All these things works together hand in hand, right? So that is number one. Second book. And then third book, I would say yung libro ni this one, it's not as popular or not, I don't hear often from different people. Ito yung libro ni Michael Masterson. Just so you know, si Michael Masterson is really the expert behind many online expert out there. The difference kasi is this guy is just, he works behind the scene. He's not like a guru with the millions of followers and all. Kaya hindi siya kilala ng marami. But really, he's behind a lot of large company up to now. Siguro yung ngayon billion-dollar company na yung mga natulungan niya. He was the consultant behind the scene. And he has this book, yung tinatawag na Ready, Fire, Aim. Ready, Fire, Aim. So, di ba, typically, ready, aim, fire. Right? Siya, ready, fire, aim. So, for entrepreneurship, ang maganda dun sa libro, number one, kasi nga, dahil marami siyang background, not just online, he divided yung entrepreneurship into parang 4 different level. So, ang maganda kasi doon, kahit na anong level ka, from startup ka, from something is already going on, more than a year ka na, or meron ka ng 1 million revenue, and then you have like 5 million, and then you have the 10 million revenue. Whatever level ng business mo, there will be something that you will get it from there. And particularly kasi ako nakita ko yung move ko from the first level to the second level, doon ko nakita yun. Nakita ko yung mga challenges ko, nakita ko yung solution for my challenges. Nakita ko ron, again, makita mo talaga na yung nagsulat ng libro na yon, he really knows what he's talking about, which is, again, Ready, Fire, Aim. Not sure if I am here. Yeah, si Michael Masterson, or meron din siyang pen name, he uses Mark Ford, but they should be able to see it on Amazon. And of course, habol ko na, The Cautious Entrepreneur, of course. My book, I share my stories there, my advice, my tips, my own transition as well, my challenges as well, all the changes that I made in my life. And by the way, you can get a copy at negosyobook.com.
Yeah, thank you, Coach, for those suggestions, no? So, sa mga nakikinig, you can search for those books. Meron mga e-books dyan, may mga audiobooks. So, kung katulad kayo ni Coach na mas effective sa kanya minsan yung audiobooks, pwede nyong itry kapag,
That's right.
lalo na pag busy kayo sa activities nyo, no? Nag-work pa kayo, or nag-aalaga kayo ng baby, wala na kayong reason na hindi intake ng mga meaty substances from these books kasi nga kaya nyo rin siya kahit audiobook siya. So,
That's
tama din po
right.
si Coach John, Sir John, yung cautious entrepreneur. Yun, sinabi niya kung saan nyo po ito pwedeng kunin. And very valuable tong book na to, especially if you really want to transition from being an employee to a person na ginagawa nyo ang gusto nyo sa buhay. Something that you
That's
love.
right.
A business that you love. So,
Exactly.
yan. Thank you, Coach, po, no, for this time na binigay nyo sa podcast. And
Mm-hmm.
definitely, maraming nakikinig ngayon. Baka interesado na kung ano ba ang Negosyo University and IBMC. Paano po ba nila kayo makokontak or makikita man lang kung ano po yung website nyo so they can check on you po?
Yeah, first, they can check out my book, yung kanina, Negosyo Entrepreneur. They can get it at negosyobook.com. Of course, they can sign up for my email newsletter where I send all my best advice and tips and strategies from starting your own businesses, how to escape the rat race, how to escape yung tinatawag the cubicle world. They may check out www.negosyouniversity.com. Of course, nasa Facebook tayo on Negosyo University. I-search nyo lang po yan. There should only be one Negosyo University. So from there, we give different advice. We have different programs. It depends sa personality ng tao. It depends kung saan siya mahilig. If they love creating product, writing books, audiobooks, then maybe they can check out the Internet Business Masterclass. We have different programs for anyone who would like to become a coach, to become a mentor, or I have another program on how to create a course. Of course, right now, as of this recording, we will be releasing yung first certification program ng Negosyo University for anyone who would like to become a Facebook marketing consultant. Ayan. So yun lang. And maraming salamat, Jimmy, for your time.
Yes, Coach. Meron din po kayong YouTube channel if I want to add, if you want
Yes.
to add. Grabe si Coach, active siya sa YouTube, guys. So, you subscribe to his YouTube channel too kasi andun yung mga advices din niya. So,
That's right.
yeah. So, yan. Thank you po, Coach, for this wonderful time na binigay nyo for our audience to listen and be inspired sa buhay nyo. And
Yes.
yan. Again, guys, nothing is impossible. You don't need to be great to start. Just need to start to be great, sabi nga. And nandito si Sir Jon Orana. Thank you for his time. Thank you for your time, Coach. And I'm ending this with all the praises, glory to our dearest Jesus. To God be the glory. God bless everyone.
Bye-bye.